Well, in the first video I'm about to show you, I recorded a clip using Chromebooks. Each staff member is issued one, and we are able to offer them to our students as well. Chromebooks are great devices, and they're set up perfectly to complete work on Google Classroom, access the web, write papers, etc. But they're not equipped to allow teachers to create and display instruction. Let's take a look at what live streaming a classroom may look like through a Chromebook. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple different lessons through these videos. And the first one is going to be just a little vocab thing here that will be posted perhaps to like Google Classroom. So we're going to do some vocab here. Also to note, I'm not doing this with the sound system on. This is just the Chromebook and just the smartboard, which every classroom at Winskill has. So here we go. The first word that I'm going to teach you today is consequences. The sentence is, the consequences of too much rain can be flooded roads and fields.
I'm going to share. I guess I don't need to share screen here.
Mr. Addison, can you hear me very well right now?
All right. So
as a student? Can you hear me very well as a student, Mr. Addison? I don't think you can hear me very well.
So we're going to do some vocab here. Also to note, I'm not doing this with the sound system on. This is just the Chromebook and just the smartboard with every classroom that we still have.
It's easy to see that high levels of learning are difficult to impossible with experiences like that. The last few months have required us to adapt like never before. Chromebooks are great devices for students to complete work on, but they just aren't designed to handle live streaming or video recording. In this video, we'd like to share what a flexible learning environment could look like for students to be learning both at school and at home. Now, when I say at home, I don't mean doing just self-paced activities. I mean having a live feed into the classroom with the ability to interact with teachers and students. In addition, this is an easy way for teachers to record their lessons, and that allows the lessons to be watched by students anytime. Here's how it works. Teachers will utilize their desktop and smartboard like they normally would. To be able to have students see exactly what's on the screen, plus the teacher and students, that's where the laptop and the app VNC Viewer comes into play. A laptop is used to run a Zoom meeting, where the teacher shares the screen. Then, using the app VNC Viewer, the screen that the teacher is sharing is actually the one that is being used to teach the lesson. This is the same technology that Dependable Solutions use to connect their devices to ours remotely. Now, if this sounds complicated, we're excited to show you that this is not only easy to use, but this could be very impactful. In our first example, we have Mrs. Mesra getting ready to start her day with students at home and at school. First, Mrs. Mesra is logging into a recurring Zoom meeting that her students at home will use to connect.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I am doing well.
Next, Mrs. Mesra is clicking on the app VNC Viewer. She clicks Connect, types in our generic password, and then she's ready to share screen and teach. In this next clip, we're going to imagine that Mrs. Mesra is teaching a group of students around her, but also connecting with students at home.
Now, what do we know about the author? Yeah, we know the author wrote the words, absolutely. And the illustrator is Giles Larrock. What does an illustrator do? Yeah, they make the pictures. I notice on the cover there are some clues to tell us to make a prediction about what our story is going to be. It looks like a lot of wheels. Does anyone else recognize any of those wheels? Yeah, maybe a bicycle wheel. All right. So in our story today, it talks about what do wheels do all day? And I notice it's a question.
Let's watch how students at home could interact with students at school.
I want you to take a second to think about some types of transportation you use. And then I want you to turn and share with your elbow buddy some ideas you have. So Brad, could you join Ethan on the computer? We're going to take just a couple minutes to talk about transportation and what you use to get from here to there.
Hi, Ethan.
Hi.
What's your favorite form of transportation?
I like to ride my bike around the block.
Now we're taken inside Mrs. Messer's small groups where we can get a glimpse of school and home views.
When we see an exclamation point. Yeah, it's loud, absolutely. We're reading it with an excited voice. So can you read that with me? Here we go, ready? Run, Quinn. All right. Oh, what kind of transportation is Quinn gonna use in our story? Brad, what do you notice?
School bus.
A school bus. Oh, Ethan, do you have a prediction? Where do you think he might be going if he's riding a school bus?
School.
I bet you're right. Let's read to find out.
Next, let's take a look inside a high school classroom and see what learning could look like either at school or at home.
Hey, Mr. Sturmer.
Hey, Josh. All right, guys, we're going to start our calc lesson today. We're going into 6-2. We only have a couple units in Unit 6, and then we have a couple in Unit 9, and we'll be start preparing for the AP Calc exam. Today, we're going to talk about volumes by using cylindrical shells. Now, you see on page, this is a page that has three-dimensional shapes that we all know how to find the volumes of. You would have learned it when you were in geometry, even back in middle school. These are all basic three-dimensional shapes that we have formulas specific for finding their volumes. But we know that every shape in our environment isn't one of these shapes. You know, there's going to be shapes that are just kind of the different, they just look different. And finding the volumes of these is going to be a lot more challenging because it's not a matter of putting an input into a simple formula. We're going to have to find strategies for estimating these volumes, and in fact we can use calculus and integration to find the exact volume, which is really cool.
Let's see what exactly it looks like on the student screen.
So if you look at this shape, what we're going to do is we're going to slice it, and when you slice that shape, you see like a two-dimensional shape. And then if you expand the width of that, it becomes more of a three-dimensional shape. And if you look at this image here, I kind of look at that and think it looks like a loaf of bread. And if you take those 7 loaves of bread and you were somehow to be able to find the volume of each one of those and then add them all up, you would get a volume for this shape.
At Lancaster, we strive to create high levels of learning in a welcoming, collaborative environment that nurtures personalized success for all flying arrows. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video to consider the potential impacts this could have in reaching all of our flying arrows.